any citizen. Then we get into chapter 6, which is about white collar crimes. Criminal law, it punishes offenders for causing harm to the public health, safety, or morals. And in this, we have a term called mens rea, which is wrongful intent or guilty mind. There are different classifications of crime. We have treason, which is engaging in war against one's country or giving aid to another to comfort its enemies. Then we have felonies, which are serious crimes punishable by death. We have misdemeanors, which are crimes of less severity. And then we have petty crimes, which are minor crimes that are punishable. The criminal procedure is you are arrested. That is to see and hold under the authority of the law. And the police can only arrest you under probable cause, which means like they have a reasonable inference or from available facts and circumstances that the suspect committed the crime. Before the police arrest you, though, they have to read your Miranda rights, which are legal rights that a suspect must be immediately informed of upon arrest. So it's like you have the right to an attorney, stuff like that. Then once you get arrested, you get booked, which is the filing of criminal charges against the criminal. Then you appear for first appearance, which is the appearance of the defendant for uh, basically for a judge who determines whether the law was probable cause for the arrest. Then you can post bail, which is the amount of money the defendant pays upon release, saying that you before paying bail you have to. This is like an agreement that you will come back to trial. Um, then you have your arraignments, which is a formal appearance of the defendant in court to answer the indictments by entering a plea or a plea of guilty or not guilty. And then you have a plea bargain. A plea bargain is like you have an agreement to say like you did a lesser crime to get lesser time in jail. Um, and we get into the white collar crimes, and this is a crime committed in a commercial context by a member of the professional managerial class. We have the strict liability offense, which no state of mind of intent is required, and these conditions required to hold corporations liable. There are arguments against supporting, the corporate criminal liability, and it says that if the corporations are not held liable, incentives to obey laws are absent, and investing a corporation as an entity is easier and convenient. There are actions against the corporate criminal liability, and it says punishing shareholders is misguided, and no real loss or lasting damage to corporation image can be achieved. The sentencing of white collar criminals. This is based on the 1991 sentencing guidelines by use by federal judges, and it shows leniency to white collar crimes. Um, Common white collar crimes are bribery, violations of federal regulations, criminal fraud, larceny, and embezzlement. Computer crimes. This is when you use a computer to commit a traditional crime. And less than 1% cases are prosecuted. Com- um, Computer crimes is destruction of data. They have viruses, which are destroys, damages, rearranges, or replaces computer data. And then you have worms, which travel from one computer to another, but does not attach itself to the operating system of the computer it infects. There are ways you can prevent white collar crimes. You can replace state with federal retarding, appoint general public directors, link fines to benefits obtained, increase operating budgets of the regulatory agencies, and use practical measures such as well-defined code of ethics signed by employees, anonymous hotlines, and employee assistance programs. Then there are three acts we learned about: the False Claims Act, which private citizens may sue employees on behalf of the government for fraud against the government. Um, they have the Sarbanes-Oxley Act. It establishes new rules regarding corporate accounting, government oversight, and financial regulations. You have the Whistleblower Protection Act, and this offers protections to federal employees who report illegal governmental activities. And this applies to present and past federal executive branch employees, as well as applicants for such jobs. Um, that's mainly the gist of what we learned in chapters 5 and 6, which got into like amendment laws, um, the trial process, and white collar crimes.